Young and the Restless spoilers hint that Christine Blair will be returning to Genoa City very soon. Actress Lauralee Bell shared some behind-the-scenes photos on her Instagram page in early September, as it looks like Cricket will be coming back home from her Whirlwind World Tour with rocker boyfriend Danny Romalotti. The soap veteran recently hopped on social media to reveal the Bug's official airdate return. Y&R spoilers. Time to mark those calendars. Y&R spoilers indicate that in an interesting turn of events, Christine is heading back to GC sans Danny. In her September IG post, Lauralee revealed that Cricket was coming back to town without Danny. She posted a snapshot of her, along with co-stars Connor Floyd, Michael Graziadei, and Michelle Stafford on the steps of the GCAC. Her caption reads, "Tour life was amazing, but one of us had to get back to Genoa City life." She went on to say, "So happy to be back with the gang. Now Danny needs to wrap up the tour soon and get back too." #. On Tuesday, September 24, Bell reposted a Cricket countdown clock on her IG story from IG user Danny_Cricket_fan with a photo of Lauralee on it, with the words October 24 across the screen. In Bell's repost, she writes, "A month from today." Looks like Lauralee is just as excited as her fans. Y&R spoilers. Where is Danny Romalotti? It sounds like Danny will resume on his tour while Cricket comes home to work. What kind of legal case will she be a part of? Fans will have to tune in to find out. Meanwhile, Michael Damian is currently working behind the scenes on the set of The Wrong Paris, which will air on Netflix. The singer posted about his whereabouts on his IG story on Tuesday, September 24, so fans will have to wait and see when this project will be released on the streaming service platform. Are you excited about Cricket's return? Comment below. Watch Y&R on CBS Daily so you don't miss a moment of the drama, and check out this site, often for the most up-to-date Young and the Restless spoilers and news. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Tangled Candy. It's me, Emily, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. The Young and the Restless spoilers are ramping up the excitement with another standalone episode added to its collection. This week, Sharon Case, who plays Sharon, is getting her well-deserved time in the spotlight. Why? The actress will be marking a remarkable 30 years on the show. Fans can catch this episode on September 27. But there's even more to look forward to, especially if you're a Phyllis fan. Read further. A Phyllis-centric episode is on the horizon. The Young and the Restless spoilers suggest that Michelle Stafford, aka Phyllis, will also have her own standalone episode. It will air on October 18, but the juicy details of Phyllis' episode remain under wraps. However, it's expected to be a nostalgic ride through her most iconic moments on the show. Moreover, we can anticipate scenes showing her notorious blackmailing of Brad Carlton. Phyllis tried to sway his vote on the Newman board. And let's not forget her epic confrontations with Sharon and Drusilla Winters. The unforgettable incident led to Drusilla falling off a cliff during a brawl, never to be seen again. Furthermore, Phyllis has always been obsessed with Danny, which is evident from her first appearance in 1994. She even went to extreme lengths, including lying and even murder, to win his affection. More recently, her obsession with Billy raised eyebrows in a September 19 episode. Finally, her dramatic moment in 2023 was definitely one for the book. Phyllis faked her own death during the show's 50th anniversary celebration. So, brace yourself to take a trip down memory lane. Now, let's talk about her history for a bit. Phyllis first hit the scene on October 18, 1994. She was a devoted groupie of fictional rock star Danny Romalotti. Additionally, she stirred up quite the drama when she claimed to have given birth to Danny's son Daniel. This led to Danny marrying Phyllis out of obligation. It sparked a fierce rivalry with his ex-wife, Christine Blair, Throughout her time on the show, Phyllis has had complicated relationships with several men. These include Jack Abbott, Nicholas Newman, and Billy Abbott. So, mark your calendars for November 13, as the show will celebrate its milestone 13,000th episode. Don't forget to check out Soap Opera 24H for more updates on The Young and the Restless spoilers. What are you hoping to see in Phyllis's upcoming episode? The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Adam Newman has been trying to open Chelsea Lawson's eyes to the deeper connection between them. What happened between Chelsea and Adam was more than just a hot hookup because of Connor Newman's issues. Although Chelsea is running from her feelings, Y&R fans know Adam isn't someone who gives up easily. There's a good chance Adam will keep pushing until Chelsea admits their passion was indeed more than a regrettable one-night stand. Connor is right about Chelsea and Adam's special comfort level with each other. Even Adam and Chelsea have talked about the fact that they can fully be themselves when they're together. At some point, Chelsea may confess that their rekindling in Baltimore was about their own love just as much as it was about their love for Connor. Although Chelsea also loves Billy Abbott, she may not be able to deny what she still feels for Adam any longer. There may come a time when Chelsea admits both to Adam and herself that part of her still wants a future with him. Chelsea might surrender to Adam's bed again as they try to figure out what all this means. However, the aftermath could get awfully complicated if that's when Billy finally decides maybe he can forgive Chelsea after all. Billy might let Phyllis Summers and even Summer Newman talk him into giving Chelsea one more chance. Perhaps Billy will meet up with Chelsea and insist he wants her back. That could be a real problem for Chelsea if she's already confessed her lingering love for Adam and landed back in bed with him. Would Chelsea still jump at the opportunity to reunite with Billy and keep what happened with Adam under wraps? That's one possibility to consider, though it would put Chelsea right back where she started when it comes to a secret that's weighing heavily on her. Another option might be if Chelsea shuts Billy down and admits he was right to break things off. Chelsea might get honest about her unresolved feelings for Adam, even if it means rejecting the Billy reunion offer she's been hoping for. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Chelsea may end up in a tight spot soon, so we'll pass along more romantic predictions and updates on any big news that might be brewing. CDL's where you want to be for fantastic Young and the Restless spoilers, predictions, news, and updates. So make us your one-stop Y&R source. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Tuesday, Sept 24, 2024, reveal that Sharon's disturbing dream about Daniel will rattle her. As Cameron manipulates her to the core, Nick grows desperate to find the missing Sharon. Meanwhile, Daniel makes a life-changing decision with Heather, agreeing to leave town for a fresh start. Prepare for a tense episode filled with psychological manipulation, desperate searches, and life-altering choices that will leave everyone on edge. Read on to know more. In the upcoming episode of The Young and the Restless, Sharon will fall asleep at the rundown motel and have a disturbing dream about Daniel. In her dream, she will envision a bloody and likely fatal situation involving him, leaving her terrified when she wakes up. Cameron will reassure her that there is nothing to fear about what they have been planning together. In fact, he will push her to focus on turning the nightmare into reality. Although Sharon will sense something is off, Cameron will insist it's the only way to get closure for Cassie and happiness with Nick. Meanwhile, Nick will take matters into his own hands on Tuesday's Y&R episode. Once he realizes Sharon has disappeared, he will understand how risky it is for her to be alone given her fragile mental state. He will stop at nothing to find her, which means he'll gather more details from Mariah. Later, he will interrogate Daniel about his last conversation with Sharon before she vanished. Also read, Nate has a new worry, a half-brother no one knew about. Read here. Heather wants a fresh start. Daniel, on the other hand, will soon have an important conversation with Heather. He will eventually agree to Heather's plans to leave town and start fresh somewhere new. His answer will delight Heather, as she worries about the ongoing drama with Sharon and the lack of job opportunities in Genoa City. Since she'll believe a fresh start is best for everyone, she may discuss with Daniel how to convince Lucy that this is the right decision. Unfortunately, their plans for a fresh start will fall apart. Sharon will make a bold move that disrupts everything, leading to more chaos. She will keep scheming as Cameron pushes her toward the final phase of his plan. To receive all the dramatic updates, stay tuned to Soap Opera Daily for the young and the restless spoilers. Do you think Sharon will kill Daniel, or will he survive? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Victor's got a lot on his corporate plate these days, even for him. Not only did he feel the need to step in and run Newman Enterprises again, but he's working revenge schemes involving two huge companies simultaneously. He's also juggling a handful of young and restless characters who all want to be CEOs, including his own wife. But as they say, too many cooks in the kitchen spoil the broth. Or in this case, the plot. The mustache has some decisions to make, and if our hunch is correct, he's about to spring a mega twist on the whole bunch that no one will see coming. On one front, Victor is working a revenge scheme against Jack Abbott for *checks notes convincing Nikki to throw in the towel and go to rehab. The plan is to turn the newly acquired Glissade into a powerhouse capable of taking down Jabot. Considering it was a startup, there's plenty of doubt to go around as to whether or not this is possible, especially when the two co-CEOs are more focused on sabotaging each other than on building up the company. Yep, Kyle and Audra are problematic, and don't think Victor doesn't know it. On the second front, Victor is vying to take control of Chancellor Industries because he doesn't like the man in charge, who just happens to be his ex-son-in-law. He's certain Billy Boy Abbott will destroy his old friend Catherine's legacy, and incidentally feels his wife Nikki is the perfect person to run the company. Complicating the issue is Lily, who struck a verbal deal with Victor to give him inside information to help bring down Billy in exchange for him reinstating her as CEO. Since Nikki and Lily can't both be CEO, and Victor's unlikely to make them co-CEOs because he likes to keep things in the family, he's got a problem. For most of us, dealing with an extra CEO we'd made a huge promise to, as well as two battling co-CEOs, would be a daunting prospect, not to mention the happy wife, happy life situation to consider here as well. But not Victor Newman. As young and restless viewers well know, the Black Knight is always 10 steps ahead of everyone else, and has surely already figured out how to solve all of his issues in one fell swoop. Unsurprisingly, that fell swoop is about to leave not one, but two people feeling blindsided and betrayed. But it may not be who you're thinking. Presently, young and restless fans are doing a lot of speculating that Lily made a huge miscalculation in handing over valuable inside scoop to the mustache, without getting a guarantee that she'd be reinstated as CEO of Chancellor in writing. Everyone who has heard about the deal she made has dished out dire warnings about trusting Victor. After all, even though she's Neil's daughter, she's not family, and Victor's hardly about to renege on a promise he made to Nikki. Lily seems destined to end up with egg on her face in this scenario. However, there is a way that Victor can follow through on his pledge to Lily in a roundabout way, whilst killing two other problematic birds with that one stone. What if, once Victor has secured Chancellor for Nikki, and Lily storms into his office full of outrage and disappointment, he tells her that he still has a company for her to run? Considering how impressively she built up Chancellor after Jill handed her the reins, and how much respect he had for her late father, it's perfectly reasonable that he'd want to put her talents to good use and come through on their deal in some capacity. What if Victor offers her, not Chancellor, but Glissade to run? Kyle and Audra's animosity toward one another has become detrimental, as they clearly cannot work together to achieve Victor's goals. Lily not only brings CEO experience to the table, but she also worked for Brass and Sassy back in the day, as well as modeling for Jebot. She's had exposure to the cosmetics world and has a proven track record as a head honcho. This move would get the mustache out of several binds and would vindicate Lily's decision to trust him. It would also leave Kyle and Audra feeling blindsided and betrayed. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the week of September 30 October 4 reveal that Audra Charles will keep working on her plan to strike back at Kyle Abbott and get her revenge. The goal will be to push Kyle out at Glissade, but Audra will have to be careful or her plan could backfire. Audra is already on thin ice with Victor Newman, who warned his co-CEOs that he didn't want a competition between them. That plan isn't working out very well, so we'll see if Audra can gain the upper hand or if Kyle will emerge victorious. Of course, Audra might eventually use Kyle's personal life against him. We all know Audra isn't afraid to play dirty, so it'll be interesting to see if she might somehow target his budding romance with Claire Newman, Haley Aaron, or at least use it as a distraction. In the meantime, Victor will plot some bold moves against Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, and Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, so both Abbott Chancellor and Jebot could be facing new drama soon enough. Over with Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope. She'll eventually cross paths with Billy again for another bonding session. Advertisement. Sally nixed Audra's idea about hitting the sheets with Billy, but could she decide that's not such a bad idea at some point? Billy and Sally will remain drawn to each other, but there's also a chance that Billy will consider giving Chelsea Lawson one more chance. Phyllis Summers has been trying to push Billy back in Chelsea's direction, so Billy may waver on his breakup decision. Whatever the case, Adam Newman won't give up on his own desire for a reunion with Chelsea, so her love life could get increasingly messy. Naturally, Y&R fans will also see the aftermath of Sharon Newman's breaking point. Sharon needs serious mental help, and that may be more obvious than ever after she does harm to Heather Stevens. Nick Newman has been positioned as the hero of Sharon's story and the person she can rely on most of all. Will Nick come through for Sharon when it counts and finally get her the help she needs? The Young and the Restless spoilers say the week of September 30 October 4 will bring some curveballs, so we'll pass along more predictions on all the chaos and updates on any news about Sharon's mental state. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that when Cameron Grimes gave birth to a baby boy in December 2023, she knew she wanted a special name for him. Grimes shares her son with her fiancé, Brock Powell, who was also on board with giving him a name that was a little outside the box. In an interview with Sode, Cameron Grimes opened up about motherhood and what it was like adjusting to life with Bridger Elias Foster since she welcomed him into the world. Bridger has certainly been a wonderful addition to the family, but you might be wondering why Grimes and Powell decided to call him that. Although Grimes admitted she wasn't entirely sure how the idea started, she did remember putting Bridger on a list in her phone somewhere along the way. Since Grimes and her siblings have rather unique names, the Y&R star wanted the same for her own son. Instead of going with something traditional, Grimes picked something more distinct, and Powell was on the same page. I've never really heard of a Bridger, and then when I looked up the name, there's a Bridger, Montana named after this adventurer and pioneer, and my dad's from Montana. So I was like, that's the kind of the energy I want for my kid, and very quickly Brock and I said, let's do it, Grimes explained. Advertisement. Bridger is an adorable name that suits Grimes and Powell's adventurous little boy, but not everyone agreed with the choice. After some people called the name ugly and stupid on social media, Grimes spoke out against the negative comments on X, formerly known as Twitter. Although Grimes acknowledged that she doesn't usually address situations like this anymore, since it just brings more negativity, She felt the need to call out such rude behavior. Grimes suggested it takes a real jerk to unabashedly respond like this about a baby. It's nice to see Cameron Grimes striking back as a protective mom and putting the critics in their place. As for what's coming up in Genoa City, Maria will remain tangled up in all the Sharon Newman drama, so we'll bring you more predictions on where things will go from here. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Sharon has some shocking moments ahead of her, so stay tuned for updates on all the wild news and the frightening fallout. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Audra Charles is still furious with Kyle Abbott after his recent betrayal. Kyle doesn't want to abide by Victor Newman's rules and work with her. Kyle wants Glissade all to himself. When Kyle learned that Nate Hastings knew who was the backer for Glissade, he ran straight to Victor in hopes of getting Audra fired. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Victor Newman gave Audra Charles another chance. The Young and the Restless spoilers indicate that Victor hasn't fired Audra yet, although he had sworn her to secrecy about his role in Glissade. Audra is taking this as a good sign and might use it to her advantage. What as Audra turns the tables and goes after and Abbott on her own? Can Audra come up with a way to help take down Billy? Will Audra go after Kyle this time, or could she go after Billy Abbott herself? Could this turn into a full-fledged battle between Kyle and Audra for Victor's approval? Y&R spoilers, 2 Abbotts with 1 stone. Audra is already trying to help take down Jack Abbott. Could Audra find a way to go after Billy as well? Perhaps Audra might overhear Billy and Phyllis talking about his plans for Abbott Chancellor and pass the information on to Victor. Could Audra do like she does with most men and try to seduce them to get what she wants? Advertisement. Can Audra find a way to prove to Victor that she is the better CEO? After all, Kyle is constantly trying to undermine her. Perhaps Audra could turn the tables on him. Could Audra offer Victor a better strategy for going after both Billy and Jack at the same time? Will Audra find a way to take down both brothers at once? The Young and the Restless spoilers, Audra Charles is always on top of things. Audra is one of those people who is always paying attention. Audra will certainly be listening for information that will help take down the Abbotts because it will keep her in Victor's good graces. Audra may just decide to take Kyle down with them. After all, if Victor finds out about the kiss between Kyle and Claire Newman, he could certainly be out. Audra will certainly do whatever it takes to get back into Victor's good graces. However, bringing down Kyle may get her there fast, since he refuses to obey orders. Kyle needs to get his priorities straight, or he could be out of Glissade and Jabot both for good. Is Kyle prepared to lose his job because he wants a romance with Claire? The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Adam Newman has been trying to open Chelsea Lawson's eyes to the deeper connection between them. What happened between Chelsea and Adam was more than just a hot hookup because of Connor Newman's issues. Although Chelsea is running from her feelings, Y&R fans know Adam isn't someone who gives up easily. There's a good chance Adam will keep pushing until Chelsea admits their passion was indeed more than a regrettable one-night stand. Connor is right about Chelsea and Adam's special comfort level with each other. Even Adam and Chelsea have talked about the fact that they can fully be themselves when they're together. At some point, Chelsea may confess that their rekindling in Baltimore was about their own love just as much as it was about their love for Connor. Although Chelsea also loves Billy Abbott, she may not be able to deny what she still feels for Adam any longer. There may come a time when Chelsea admits both to Adam and herself that part of her still wants a future with him. Chelsea might surrender to Adam's bed again as they try to figure out what all this means. However, the aftermath could get awfully complicated if that's when Billy finally decides maybe he can forgive Chelsea after all. Billy might let Phyllis Summers and even Summer Newman talk him into giving Chelsea one more chance. Perhaps Billy will meet up with Chelsea and insist he wants her back. That could be a real problem for Chelsea if she's already confessed her lingering love for Adam and landed back in bed with him. Would Chelsea still jump at the opportunity to reunite with Billy and keep what happened with Adam under wraps? That's one possibility to consider, though it would put Chelsea right back where she started when it comes to a secret that's weighing heavily on her. Another option might be if Chelsea shuts Billy down and admits he was right to break things off. Chelsea might get honest about her unresolved feelings for Adam, even if it means rejecting the Billy reunion offer she's been hoping for. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Chelsea may end up in a tight spot soon, so we'll pass along more romantic predictions and updates on any big news that might be brewing. CDL's where you want to be for Fantastic Young and the Restless spoilers, predictions, news, and updates. So make us your one-stop Y&R source. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Tuesday, Sept 24, 2024, reveal that Sharon's disturbing dream about Daniel will rattle her. As Cameron manipulates her to the core, Nick grows desperate to find the missing Sharon. Meanwhile, Daniel makes a life-changing decision with Heather, agreeing to leave town for a fresh start. Prepare for a tense episode filled with psychological manipulation, desperate searches, and life-altering choices that will leave everyone on edge. Read on to know more. In the upcoming episode of The Young and the Restless, Sharon will fall asleep at the rundown motel and have a disturbing dream about Daniel. In her dream, she will envision a bloody and likely fatal situation involving him, leaving her terrified when she wakes up. Cameron will reassure her that there is nothing to fear about what they have been planning together. In fact, he will push her to focus on turning the nightmare into reality. Although Sharon will sense something is off, Cameron will insist it's the only way to get closure for Cassie and happiness with Nick. Meanwhile, Nick will take matters into his own hands on Tuesday's Y&R episode. Once he realizes Sharon has disappeared, he will understand how risky it is for her to be alone, given her fragile mental state. He will stop at nothing to find her, which means he'll gather more details from Mariah. Later, he will interrogate Daniel about his last conversation with Sharon before she vanished. Also read, Nate has a new worry. A half-brother no one knew about? Read here. Heather wants a fresh start. Daniel, on the other hand, will soon have an important conversation with Heather. He will eventually agree to Heather's plans to leave town and start fresh somewhere new. His answer will delight Heather, as she worries about the ongoing drama with Sharon and the lack of job opportunities in Genoa City. Since she'll believe a fresh start is best for everyone, she may discuss with Daniel how to convince Lucy that this is the right decision. Unfortunately, their plans for a fresh start will fall apart. Sharon will make a bold move that disrupts everything, leading to more chaos. She will keep scheming as Cameron pushes her toward the final phase of his plan. To receive all the dramatic updates, stay tuned to Soap Opera Daily for The Young and the Restless spoilers. Do you think Sharon will kill Daniel, or will he survive? Share your thoughts in the comments below. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Wednesday, September 25, suggest a race against time as Nick and Mariah devise a plan to save Sharon. But will they implement it in time? Hurry up and wait. It took Nick and Mariah a while to figure out that they believed that Sharon was in crisis. They tried talking to her, giving her space, calling out her lies, and going along with her delusions. Nothing worked. Finally, Nick and Mariah conclude that they need to step in and do something because Sharon cannot help herself. But considering the time that passed between their starting to suspect something was wrong and their resolve to do something about it, Sharon may have slipped through their grasp for good. For all that they think they know, Nick and Mariah don't even know that Sharon has been talking to dead and bloody Cameron for weeks. And dead Cameron doesn't have Sharon's best interests at heart. Dead Cameron, even though he knows he isn't real, but just a manifestation of Sharon's darkest desires, has never stopped reminding Sharon that she never got revenge for Cassie's death, and that the person responsible for it, Daniel, is still walking around free and alive. Daniel is happy with Heather, and he has a daughter, Lucy. That's the life Cassie should have had. Daniel is the one who should be dead. Fantasy dead Cassie told Sharon as much, and now Sharon is ready to act on it. TaskRabbit. Speaking of crazy, obsessive people, Phyllis has told Billy that she will do whatever it takes to help him get into their company, Abbott Chancellor. Phyllis knows that Billy doesn't have what it takes to succeed. Good thing Phyllis does, and it's a good thing Phyllis is about to do it. The Young and the Restless spoilers and rumors tease Nick Newman's shocking encounter with Sharon Newman's doctor could reveal some dark truths. Nick may uncover shocking details that will heighten his anxiety regarding his excess for Sharon. She is undoubtedly providing her loved ones with plenty of reasons to be concerned. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Sharon Case has been dealing with serious symptoms. For several weeks, she has been grappling with a mental health crisis that seems to intensify with each passing day. First, she envisioned reconciling with Nick and hallucinated Cassie Newman. However, her thoughts have now spiraled into full conversations with the deceased Cameron Kirsten, who is urging her to succumb to her darkest urges. With Cameron's influence clouding her judgment, Sharon has found herself lashing out at Daniel Romalotti, Lucy Romalotti, and Phyllis Summers. She holds Daniel responsible for Cassie's death, Lucy for Faith's car accident, and Phyllis for the collapse of her marriage to Nick. Sharon's increasingly hostile behavior has been noticed, and Nick, Faith, and Mariah find themselves at a loss, desperately trying to figure out how to support Sharon in this situation. Y&R spoilers. Sharon Case is becoming dangerous. Viewers are well aware that Sharon's loved ones need to take action quickly, as she seems to be contemplating the unthinkable, taking Daniel's life. While it's uncertain if she'll actually go through with it during the week of September 23, the weekly preview suggests she makes a choice that leads to deep regret. Overwhelmed with emotion, she struggles to find a way to undo her actions. After having a nightmare of Daniel in distress, she confides in Kirsten, who encourages her to pursue her dreams. Later, we see Sharon outside, in tears, grappling with the reality of her situation and questioning how it all spiraled out of control. This turmoil follows a moment when Nick, Faith, and Mariah inform Daniel that Sharon has seemingly vanished. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Nick Newman spoke about talking to Sharon Case's doctor. Before we dive into next week's events, let's take a moment to reflect on a significant moment from the episode that aired on September 20. In this episode, Nick engaged in a conversation with Victor, Victoria, and Nikki Newman, Eric Braden, Amelia Heinel, Melody Thomas Scott, about his worries concerning Sharon. He suggests the possibility of reaching out to her doctor to get an update on her condition. Initially, Nick's family is skeptical, concerned that he might hit a dead end since doctors typically don't share patient information with anyone but the patient. However, as they learn more about Sharon's troubling behavior, they ultimately decide to support Nick's initiative. Y&R spoilers. Nick Newman is in for a shock. Imagine if Nick talks to Sharon's doctor. For some time now, we've suspected that someone has been tampering with Sharon's bipolar medication in an attempt to undermine her. Given that she had been stable on her medication for years, it seems suspicious when her doctor suddenly proposed a change. This led us to consider the possibility that Sharon is being targeted by someone with a vendetta against her. What if Nick approaches the doctor to discuss Sharon's recent changes in behavior, only to notice that the doctor is acting oddly or even appears to be hiding something? If that's the case, will Nick dig deeper and uncover that the doctor has been bribed by someone to sabotage Sharon's mental health for malicious purposes? The Young and the Restless spoilers. Perhaps Sharon Case hasn't seen her doctor at all. It's easy to envision a scenario where a long-lost family member or former lover of Kirsten arrives in Genoa City, intent on avenging Cameron's death by targeting Sharon. Taking this idea a step further, imagine that this individual is outraged over Cameron's decision to bequeath his company to Sharon in his will, leading them on a mission to reclaim what they believe is rightfully theirs. Now, let's consider a different angle. What if the doctor is indeed credible and had valid reasons for modifying Sharon's medications? However, after picking up on Nick's concerns regarding Sharon's well-being, the doctor breaches confidentiality and reveals to Nick that he hasn't seen Sharon in some time, despite her assurances. This revelation could lead the doctor to express worries that Sharon might pose a risk to herself or others, prompting Nick to rush to her side. Be sure to catch up on everything happening with Y&R right now. Come back here often for the Young and the Restless spoilers, news, and updates.